I'm the founder of Geek. We are a specialist consultancy. We help technology and gaming companies sell and understand women. Well, I started the business because companies like PC World, these are the rule rather than the exception. I was frustrated and quite frankly bored with the way that technology companies speak to women. I did some research with Forrester and actually found out that a third of British women in the UK are also frustrated with the way tech companies speak to women. They pink up the products in the marketing, they dumb down the features. Forrester calculated that companies are missing out on £0.6 billion. We are a team of industrial designers from the RSA, gender experts from the London Business School, myself, I'm a marketeer and an advertising person, and content producers. We offer three things. We offer female intelligence, which is insight reports that we've just done one for YouGov on the female app economy. We also have a panel. Our second product is what we call Influence. We also have a panel of the 10 most influential women in technology in the UK, so we use them as a credible way to get companies' message out there. And we also have proprietary tools. We are here to change things, right from the way products are designed for women, right through to the way they're marketed. We are on a mission to raise women's agenda in tech, and our clients are YouGov, ASUS, and just this week we have one Nokia. So we're very happy about that, and we are developing a 12-week video app show which will be in the Times online, albeit behind a paywall. So that's us. Really like to hear your comments.
Hold that thought. A couple things. If there was ever an example of how you want to pitch robots, it sounds kind of like that, right? Just to compare, and I admit she's further down the road than you are.
I'm only about 3 days.
I'm sorry?
I'm only about 3 days.
It's fine. Yeah. But it's quite interesting to me that by pure accident, you two are both doing essentially niche consultancies, one based on age, one based on gender. Therefore, your pitches could be precisely the same, except if you replace age for gender, and you also need some incredibly patronizing ad where they treat people who are younger as idiots. Because I presume basically that was the point of the ad.
Absolutely.
That patronizing was the whole point. So are you telling me it takes me more than turning my products pink? Shit, there was my whole woman marketing thing.
Very funny.
Yeah, thank you. Right, so you've got 3 big customers now, is that correct?
And the Times. We have a weekly column, a fortnightly column.
That's not a customer.
No, so 3 proper clients. And actually the one we're most excited about is Nokia. And something I just want to pick up on that Doug said was we actually producing a video show. And when I started the business, I had no idea we would end up producing content. So I think opportunism and not being so locked into a business model is a really fantastic point, because we would not have landed Nokia if we had.
You mean, why? What was it that caused you to get to Nokia that was opportunistic? Was it the video show, you went to do the video show that happened to get you to Nokia? Is that what you're saying?
No, it was just that I thought it was going to be a pure consulting-led project, and actually after meeting people and networking, saw a show by someone else and thought, actually, why don't we do this for women? And then took that to Nokia. And I think the other really important lesson that I've learned is having something tangible to show people, which is, I think, a bit where you are. Just even having something to send to clients is fantastic, but also having a video. We did a pilot show that they could actually feel, see, touch was really, really crucial to getting that first step.
What's the biggest issue you're facing right now?
I think the biggest issue we're facing touches on something you said, that we are still seen as a nice to have. Even though women are 52% of the population, clients say to me, yeah, we really need to target a niche audience, women. Even though 4 out of...
Did they actually say that? It's a big need.
Big, yeah, big need.
52% minority.
Even now, 4 out of 10 gadgets in the UK are now bought by women, and we're not talking washing machines and fridges. We are talking high-end items, HD TVs, consoles. The stats are there. That is the biggest issue that I face.
No, washing machines are bought by clueless husbands thinking those are appropriate.
Possibly.
Not that I can speak from experience. Right, so first of all, you're off to a good start. So your challenge is, if you understand your challenge is the marketplace not recognizing a need, perhaps? I'm trying to reinterpret it in a way because needs exist independent of you. And you said something that I thought was very interesting. You said, we're on a mission too. And I think you have to, I think it's lovely to be on a mission, but you're actually running a business. Now, I think your behaviors are contrary to that, in the sense that you are appropriately opportunistic. Therefore, you're willing to change your tactics and strategies, in this case, your products and services, right, which led you to more success. So I think that's perfect.
Okay.
But you're on a mission. I think a mission is the nice to have. In other words, what you really are is you're a competency. You're a competency in an intellectual discipline, and that is essentially gender-based market research. It's gender-specific market research.
Well, we do much more than market research.
I know, but that's your competency. You know about that market,
yeah.
And you're translating the knowledge about that market into products and services. So your competency is that. And therefore, everything you do is going to flow from that competency. Therefore, everything you do is going to be about informing products with how women will react to them or buy them or appreciate them or not. Or marketing, post-product. Right, that's about a company. That's not a mission. And describing it as a mission suggests you would do it even if it weren't good business.
Can I counter that?
Yes, because if it's not good business, I'd like to know why you're going to do it.
So I agree with that when you're talking to a commercial client. But just going back to something you said about getting buzz.
Okay.
If you want to get in the press, and I had to get this in the press to make my client happy, so I had to get it in the Guardian. And to do that, the only way I was going to do that by talking about it as if it was a mission, a personal interest. So I think
but you had a customer.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got the customer without that. Yeah.
You wouldn't have gotten the customer without the mission, or you wouldn't have gotten the customer. You wouldn't have gotten.
No, without the commercial.
You wouldn't have solved the problem without positioning it. I'm not trying to turn you into the cynic you're not, because you actually are on a mission.
Yeah.
So, I'm not suggesting others. Having met you and talked to you, I'm usually keenly aware of the fact you're on a mission. I think that you're going to find yourself making commercial choices intentionally with the mission before you're up, and I'm just curious about the mission.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the tension that produces. In the
I think that's right. And I think the other thing is, most of our clients are men. So if we're talking to middle-aged men, talking about a mission, we don't want to be militant, we don't want to be burning our bras, and mission does have those connotations. So I think there is that side to it.
Is it more difficult to sell to a senior female executive or a senior male executive?
I don't think I can answer that at this point, because I don't think we've had enough experience. The woman...
You mean there haven't been enough females to sell to, or you just haven't sold enough females?
Haven't sold you enough females. Interestingly, the Nokia came because of the head of PR at Nokia is a woman.
So you think there's a bit of the old girls network?
I think it's too early to say.
I'm just curious to know how it's evolving. Because if in fact, I think you have to follow the opportunity, and I think everyone has to learn to be shameless. I think shameless is a good attribute in the entrepreneurial world. You can't be afraid to use the fact that you're a woman to sell something about women.
Yeah.
You have to support that. And if you find, but I don't know instinctively whether women are going to be harder to sell to or easier. I could make either case intellectually. They don't have the fear because they're women. Right? So you go to a woman and say, you don't know women. She might say, well, thanks. She might actually be viewed as an insult. Yeah. Right? But you can go to pretty much, he can go to anybody my age and say, you don't know youth, and he's damn correct. Yeah. Right? You can go to any man and say, you don't know women, and though we will be heard on the surface, we will acknowledge underneath that you're probably right. Right? So it's an interesting challenge. Yeah. But on the other hand, as you say, the woman who runs PR at Nokia was sensitive to either the issue or the opportunity on your behalf. That's a networking moment.
Absolutely.
That's not a competency moment.
Absolutely, and I think even more than the gender, what's more important, every single project I have got through someone I already know, or someone who knows me and has recommended me. I haven't got a single project from doing a cold.
But you could become a very large corporation before you ever do cold call. There's no requirement that you're successful through cold work. You're welcome to become successful solely through loose networks and affiliates. So the real question is, what do you think the biggest challenge you face is? Is that the people don't appreciate that they need what you know?
The biggest challenge for us as a business is that we don't have the case study yet. So I cannot walk into a client and say, if
But
you do
have
X,
the customer.
we have the
You haven't
customer.
finished with them yet?
We just haven't finished, yeah.
Is this finished, as it were?
It's finished, but it was a PR tool. It's
No, it wasn't. It was that's not what it was. It was somebody paying you cold hard cash to create this to put it in the press.
yeah,
Right, that's called a customer and that's a product.
yeah.
And therefore you have a case study.
Yeah, I guess so.
Why aren't you building a case study about YouGov? YouGov came to us because of the case study. They wanted to raise up the awareness of the female economy in the UK. So what we did is we took our competency, which we have a great abundance of, we did the following market research, we happen to also be a creation company now, because we created our own kit, and we also happen to have a PR and marketing commitment in Element, because we successfully placed in the following places. Sounds to me like you did a good job and solved the problem.
Good point.
And you got paid for it. So I'm just waiting for the case study.
Okay,
So you do have a case study, don't you? You just haven't written it.
exactly.
Fine. I feel better now.
But it's not the case study I want.
I know, because you want to sell other stuff.
Yeah, I want to get with the app show, you know, I want to get millions of hits on that app show. So that for me is a case study. This is the first one, but as you say, it's a start.
If you had it, and you took a video testimonial of that client and put them on your homepage, that will help somebody else you don't know about create the opportunistic moment that you haven't yet had.
Yeah, totally. I'm going
Does
to do
that make
that.
sense?
I'm going to do that tomorrow.